with the coronavirus. Breaking news, more than a dozen Americans evacuated from the Diamond Princess cruise ship now testing positive for coronavirus, still allowed to fly on these planes back to the U.S. With hundreds of Americans on board and the new fears this morning about that other cruise ship, officials now racing to find thousands of people who already disembarked after an American passenger is diagnosed with the virus.
Flooding emergency. Neighborhoods in the south underwater, homes washed away. And now this river about to hit its highest level in nearly 40 years with more rain on the way.
Bullseye on Bloomberg. Not even in the next race, but the Democratic candidates taking aim at the billionaire. With just 5 days to go to the Nevada caucuses, the questions growing about his past treatment of women in the workplace as his poll numbers rise.
Baby napping plot. A mother and her teenage daughter under arrest, accused of posing as a baby photographer and giving a new mom a poisoned cupcake to steal her baby.
Royal reality. Duchess Kate opening up like never before about motherhood, her challenging pregnancies, and how she really felt about this iconic photo op right after Prince George was born.
And the action-packed All-Star game. LeBron James and his team, the amazing play on the court, and the touching tributes for Kobe Bryant, the performances, jerseys, and the moments that had fans on their feet.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
We do say good morning, America. Great to have you with us on this President's Day. Great to have Tom here with us.
Great to be here.
You guys were talking about that powerful night. They were talking hoops, the All-Star game, honoring, of course, the 9 people who lost their lives in that helicopter crash, including Kobe Bryant and his daughter.
And take a look, that patch appearing on all the jerseys, 9 stars for those 9 lives lost. It's just one of the ways the NBA paid tribute last night.
Yeah, one of the most powerful All-Star games in years so far. We'll have much more on that ahead, but first we begin with that breaking news. Those coronavirus evacuation flights landing at 2 Air Force bases here in the U.S. this morning, carrying hundreds of Americans who were quarantined on that Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan. And we know at least 14 people who flew on those planes are battling coronavirus.
All those passengers face an additional 2-week quarantine amid growing fears about the virus spreading across the globe. So far, there have been more than 71,000 cases and 1,700 deaths. And Marcus Moore is at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, where one of those flights just landed. Good morning, Marcus.
Robin, good morning. It is the latest development in the response to this fast-moving outbreak. That jet landing here in San Antonio this morning, and those evacuated Americans will now stay in special isolation facilities here on base. 300 passengers from the Diamond Princess cruise ship back on U.S. soil this morning, arriving at military Air Force bases in both California and Texas overnight, including 14 passengers who have tested positive for the coronavirus. Those passengers confined to a specialized, isolated containment area on the aircraft. Mark Jorgensen was on that flight. His wife, Jerry, has the coronavirus and is still in Japan. This is what it looked like when passengers first boarded. Flight crew members in full hazmat suits giving a pre-flight safety announcement. Meanwhile, passengers who stayed on the Diamond Princess are now slated to face another 2 weeks of quarantine. American Matthew Smith says that's fine with him.
We were confident in the quarantine that the Japanese officials have established and are following through on. We were upset that the U.S. plans involve breaking this quarantine.
At least 454 cases of coronavirus have been diagnosed on board, the largest confined cluster outside mainland China. This as fears mount over a new coronavirus on another cruise ship in Cambodia.
Bye-bye, take care.
Over the weekend, an 83-year-old American passenger of the luxury cruise ship Westerdam was diagnosed with the coronavirus just 1 day after more than 2,200 passengers and crew disembarked from the ship. Unlike the Diamond Princess, many of the passengers on the Westerdam have already traveled on to destinations worldwide. And for the Americans who have arrived back here in the U.S., by the time they are done with their isolation, they will have been in quarantine for about a month. This as health officials try to prevent a global pandemic. Robin.
Okay, Marcus, we're going to bring in ABC News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jennifer Ashton. Let's start with the cruise ship in Cambodia. That one passenger getting off testing positive for the coronavirus.
Yeah, you know, Robin, I think it's important here not to get bogged down in one number one, when we're talking about millions and millions of people and cases and risk here. This might be the tip of the iceberg phenomenon. We really need to know how many people are exposed, how many people are infected, and how many people are sick. And if the number's sick, in this case, one, remember, tip of the iceberg. So again, this is just an evolving situation.
And can you just put it in perspective for us here? Because, you know, people wake up to this headline every morning and there's concern.
Yeah, well, and in particular, we're seeing something play out here that doesn't make sense to a lot of lay people, why we're bringing people with known infection into the U.S. That's a judgment call about risk versus benefit, risk of staying on that ship versus benefits of being here in the U.S., where we know how to isolate and contact trace. And again, that is the key to controlling this outbreak here.
All right, Jen, thanks so much. Michael.
All right, thank you, Doc. And Robin, now to that state of emergency in the South. The Pearl River, Mississippi is now at its highest level in decades and still rising. Neighborhoods are already swamped. Alex Perez is there in Jackson with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. I want you to take a look behind me here. We're outside this power substation, and there's so much water here, you can't tell where the Pearl River ends and where land begins. It has been an anxiety-filled few days here. Overnight, the Mississippi capital in a state of emergency. With water rising this morning from the Pearl River, levels expected to reach its highest in nearly 4 decades. 2,400 homes and structures now in jeopardy. Part of Jackson completely submerged.
We do not anticipate this situation to end anytime soon. If you have not evacuated yet, we urge you to do so.
With floodwaters rising, first responders and volunteers using boats to help those stranded.
We're just trying to save whatever we can.
Some cars completely underwater, while others are trying to fight their way out of tricky situations. Floodwaters from water being released from the reservoir expected to push the Pearl River to crest today at 37.5 feet. And in Tennessee, floodwater wreaking havoc there too. Relentless rain causing so much ground saturation, this home Saturday night plunging down a steep embankment as sparks fly. And authorities have distributed more than 146,000 sandbags here to help protect homes. They're expecting more rain here later this week. Michael?
All right, Alex, you said it. Unfortunately, more rain is on the way for the South. And there are flood warnings from Texas to North Carolina. Sam Champion is in this morning for Ginger. Good morning, Sam.
Hey, Michael. Yeah, Michael, this is a terrible situation for a good part of the South. Even in the satellite picture, you can see how it looks a little drier today. But that's coming from San Francisco to Denver gets in for tomorrow, and there's more rain coming. The flood warnings go from Texas all the way to South Carolina. There are more than 3 dozen rivers and bayous at flood stage or above. Now, the worst flooding is in Mississippi right now. And take a look at the Pearl River, the highest since 1983. Now, some people have not been around to see that flooding. I remember 1983, but a lot of people in this area were born after that, so this is the worst flooding they've ever seen. Now, why are we in this situation? But if you go back to January for Jackson, they've had more than 20 inches of rain, and just in the last week and a half, 10 inches of rain through a good part of the South. So we've got an additional 2 to 3. Most of that is during the day tomorrow. The situation is not over. Tom?
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Sam, thank you. Let's turn to politics now and the race for the White House with just 5 days to go until the next votes in the Nevada caucus. Here's how the national polling average changed over the past week. Take a look. Bernie Sanders is holding steady on top, Joe Biden in second, but dropping several points, and Michael Bloomberg on the rise, now in third. He's not even competing in Nevada, but already a target of the other candidates as early voting gets underway there. Eva Pilgrim has more in Las Vegas. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Time. Tom is ticking. The Nevada caucuses are at the end of the week, and with no clear front runner in sight, the elbows are out as candidates make stop after stop trying to get voters in their corner.
A massive turnout for early voting in Nevada left people waiting for hours in lines described as a chaotic mess of confusion. But Democratic presidential hopefuls appealing to voters to keep coming out as they keep campaigning. Many now making focused attacks on Michael Bloomberg.
I never thought I was going to be able to compete with some of my opponent's bank accounts.
$60 billion can buy you a lot of advertising.
but it can't erase your record.
Bloomberg is not even on the ballot in the Silver State. The businessman listed by Forbes as the 8th richest man in the world, worth almost $63 billion, instead focusing his attention on the Super Tuesday states.
Mike Bloomberg's never been afraid of tough fights, the ones that make a true difference in people's lives.
And spending an unprecedented $381 million on ads so far. But as Bloomberg's polling numbers increase, so does the scrutiny on his past, including the billionaire's treatment of women in the workplace and allegations of sexist comments reported by ABC News and receiving renewed attention after another investigation by the Washington Post. The article accusing the billionaire of creating a workplace culture that allowed the sexual degradation of women. Bloomberg allegedly making crude comments, telling an employee who just announced she was pregnant to kill it, and scolding a female employee who couldn't find a nanny, saying, "All you need is some black who doesn't have to speak English to rescue it from a burning building." Court records reviewed by ABC News finding that at least 17 women have taken legal action against Bloomberg's company over the past 30 years. 3 cases specifically naming Bloomberg for his role in the company's culture. None of the cases made it to trial. 4 were dismissed or withdrawn. 5 were settled out of court. 3 cases remain active. Bloomberg this weekend tweeting, "I would not be where I am today without the talented women around me. I've depended on their leadership, their advice, and their contributions. As I've demonstrated throughout my career, I will always be a champion for women in the workplace."
And lots of chatter around if Bloomberg could make the next debate on Wednesday. He needs one more state or national poll, putting him above 10% to make the cut. Tom.
Yep, the clock's still ticking there. Now, Eva, let's go back to the Nevada caucus right now. Big turnout for early voting and a big concern there's not a repeat of what happened in Iowa with calculating those votes.
Well, it's certainly going to be a mad dash to the finish here. They scrapped their plans after the chaos that happened in Iowa. Volunteers here telling us that they are concerned. State party officials say they're working around the clock, testing the different backup plans they already had in place. But time is running out. The caucuses are on Saturday, Tom.
Yeah, and the pressure is on. All right, Eva, thanks so much. Robin?
All right, Tom. To Washington now, where Attorney General William Barr is facing new criticism for intervening in the case of President Trump's longtime confidant, Roger Stone. More than 1,100 former Justice Department prosecutors and officials are now publicly calling for his resignation. Cecilia Vega has those details for us. Good morning, Cecilia.
Robin, good morning to you. These are folks who worked in both Democratic and Republican administrations now calling on Bill Barr to resign. This is part of that growing fallout, of course, after the Justice Department overruled prosecutors' 7 to 9 year sentencing recommendation for Stone. That reversal happened after, of course, the president blasted the original recommendation publicly. So now these 1,100 names signed this letter, including the former Deputy Attorney General under President George Bush, about 50 former U.S. attorneys. They're now calling on Justice Department employees to report abuses of political interference and to resign if they see them. Take a look at what they said. They say, quote, "It is unheard of for the department's top leaders to overrule line prosecutors who are following established policies in order to give preferential treatment to a close associate of the president. Such behavior," they say, "is a grave threat to the fair administration of justice." So far, Robin, no comment from the Justice Department, but meantime, Stone is scheduled to be sentenced on Thursday.
All right. Thank you, Cecilia. Michael?
All right. Thank you, Robin. Now to a major arrest in the murder case of Barnard College student Tessa Majors, a 14-year-old taken into custody, charged with killing Majors in a New York City park in December. Stephanie Ramos is there with more. Good morning, Stephanie.
Michael, good morning. Police say the 14-year-old they just arrested is responsible for taking the life of Tessa Majors. This is where police found her, on these steps, after she fought back against 3 teens. The NYPD announcing on Saturday that 14-year-old Rayshawn Weaver is being charged with 2 counts of murder in the 2nd degree as an adult under state law in her fatal stabbing just a few blocks away from her Barnard College campus. Now, according to the criminal complaint, video surveillance shows Majors entering the park just before 7 o'clock that evening when she was approached by the 3 teens trying to steal her cell phone. Michael.
Stephanie, prosecutors say there's a lot of evidence connecting him to her death as well.
Absolutely. Authorities say smartphone evidence, DNA evidence, witness identification, and even the defendant's own statements helped in this case. Now, Weaver is due in court this Wednesday. Michael.
All right, Stephanie, thank you so much. Tom?
All right, a sad story all around. Let's turn to sports now. The Daytona 500, the biggest race of the year, postponed by rain on Sunday, now set to resume this afternoon. Drivers took just 20 laps with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the lead. Sentimental favorite Jimmy Johnson, who's retiring after this season, in 8th place right now. We'll see how it all ends just a few hours from right now.
A lot of people are going to be watching. Now to that action-packed NBA All-Star game, the best players in the league facing off in Chicago, and also paying tribute to the 9 people who were killed in that helicopter crash, including Kobe Bryant and his daughter. TJ Holmes is here, has those exciting details.
Hey, good morning to you all. You could almost argue that Kobe Bryant played for 2 teams his NBA career, the LA Lakers and the Western Conference All-Stars. He was in this game 18 times. This was such a part of his legacy. It's a special place, and they made sure pretty much at every facet of All-Star Weekend, Kobe's presence was felt. The NBA All-Star Game this year focused on one star in particular.
We'll never see another basketball player quite like Kobe.
The league paying tribute to Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the 7 others who died in a helicopter crash last month.
This may only be a dream.
Jennifer Hudson opened the night with her rendition of For All We Know. Performances also by fellow hometown superstars Common.
So even in the darkest times, you'll feel Kobe's light.
And Chance the Rapper. And the players on Team Giannis's red team all wore 24 in Kobe's honor, while LeBron's blue team wore number 2, the number worn by Gianna. Both sides also sported patches with 9 stars, one for each life lost on that California hillside.
That's his range.
Young from center court.
Yes! The 2 teams showed a little Mamba mentality, fighting down to the very last point. And even the biggest prize of the night, dedicated to number 24. Kawhi Leonard took home the first ever Kobe Bryant MVP award.
Words can't even explain. Just making this the first Kobe Bryant MVP trophy. Thank you. This one for him.
I mentioned Kobe made 18 All-Star games. Only one person has made more, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's rarefied air. And Kobe won, and nobody's won more MVP awards for the All-Star game than Kobe. He won 4.
That's right.
Yes. And it just so happened, guys, this weekend, it was announced Kobe is a finalist to the Hall of Fame. And this is his first year eligible. It just happened to fall at this particular time.
I have a feeling he'll make it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he'll make it.
Oh, yeah,
well
it's
deserved.
a shoe-in.
Thank you so much, CJ.
You got it, guys.
Okay. We're following a lot of other stories this morning. Next, the new interview with Duchess Kate, what she's revealing about motherhood, her pregnancies, and the moments she feels, quote, mom guilt.
And get ready for President's Day deals, where to find surprise sales on iPads, clothing, and an entire kitchen set. But first, Sam Champion in the house.
Let's have a moment for winter weather lovers, because we haven't had too much around the country. We've got another shot of cold air making it down, and this is probably for Thursday. Not as cold as the last one. The last one, the wind chills were at the 40 below category. Now we're 20 below, but at least it's cold air, and this moves all the way into New England. Thursday is the coldest day for New York, but Friday morning you'll wake up with a 2-degree wind chill. Your local weather is just, say hello to winter, just a little bit. Your local weather is in 30 seconds, but first is our Select City, sponsored by Chase.
You work hard for your money. Stretch days for it.
More?
Juggled life for it.
Let's go.
Took charge for it. So care for it. Look after it. Invest with the expertise of JP Morgan, either with an advisor or online through Chase. After all, it's yours. Chase, make more of what's yours.
A great day to get out and enjoy the weather, because we're looking at sunshine, a mixture of a few clouds. With that sunshine, temperatures today from the 30s into the lower 50s with a very light wind out of the northeast and south. Next weather maker coming in for your Tuesday with some showers across the area, but mainly afternoon and through the evening and overnight. High temperature tomorrow, warmest of the week, 57 degrees, and then 49 on Wednesday. We'll start cooling down with highs around 40 for Thursday and Friday.
They had to shut it all down. We got a little rainbow, and I think they'll pick up the race again today. Is it today?
Yes, you reported that, Sam.
Question mark at the end of that.
We'll be right back.
So I was at Marshall's just browsing, and I see this jean jacket. I put it on, popped the collar, and looked at the brand. And when I saw the price tag, I was like, oh yeah, this is a key.